Ginny Bogus. Coach, first, congratulations on the new position and what a program it is that you're taking over. You inherited a 2-win team when taking over at Monmouth. Quite a stark difference in production of the team you're now taking over. What about this job made it feel like the right fit?
Yeah, I don't think the two programs could be in more polarizing states than the two that I've been fortunate to lead so far. But the thing about Toledo that made it so appealing was the tradition and the history, the opportunity to offer an elite student athlete experience, to compete in a league like the MAC, which is highly competitive year in and year out. But also the leadership here at the University of Toledo, from our president to our newer, I guess he's new-ish, director of athletics. The vision here is to continue to not just do what we've done in the past, which is be very successful, but to take this to an even higher level. And so I'm excited to be the one they chose to lead, and I'm excited to be a part of this incredible tradition.
Trisha Cullip, when she left, was very open in saying she wanted her players to stay at Toledo, and many of them did. How much has that helped you as you look to continue to build this program, and how much are you relying on them?
Well, I think that speaks to her love for this place, and who she is as not just a coach, but a human being. She's an incredible woman, that cares about Toledo and the continued success here. But I think it also speaks to the players and how much they love one another and how much they love Toledo and the community. This community shows up for UT women's basketball, and I know the pride that they have and what they're looking forward to and their goals are this season. So having our returners who understand the expectation and what it means to be a Toledo women's basketball player, having them in the locker room, passing down the tradition, being open-minded to developing new traditions and standards of excellence and different ways of doing things have been absolutely awesome. Our team GPA being, in the top in the country, these are high-achieving women across the board. And so the fact that they're open-minded and allowing, this to become our program and not just a program of the past, with eyes wide open to raise the bar, it's been really, really fun.
Well, the team did graduate back-to-back MAC Players of the Year in Quenisha Lockett and Sophia Wired. Obviously, that is a lot to replace. What can you tell us about some of your newcomers?
Well, first, I think, we need to speak to the incredible talent that came back. Those were not role players. They're very, very talented in their own right, and they have a lot of abilities that weren't needed necessarily to be successful in the past because of the players they were surrounded with. I think they're all very excited to step into new roles and embrace those new challenges for the space that was created by those two players leaving. But we do have some really talented young players. 4 of our 6 freshmen are over 6'1". So we're really excited about the length and the size that we have. They're talented young kids that are eager to learn and compete. And then we got a really, really special transfer from St. Francis, PA, in Kendall Carruthers, who is she was an all freshman of the year, and then a confident, comfortable scorer with the ball in her hands.
One of those returners that you talked about is Nan Garcia, who we are going to talk to in just a little bit. She was a player at Penn State while you were an assistant coach for the Nittany Lions. How has that helped the transition, and what's your relationship been like with her?
Well, I think on the front end, I knew how talented she was, and I know what an incredible player she is. I also know her heart. This is a young woman who really loves her teammates and really loves to compete. And so knowing that there's a champion in the locker room and knowing her mindset and why she chose Toledo, I've been cheering her on, sliding into her stories when she's posting pictures with, the three-peat rings and when she graduated. So, I'm a big fan of Nan Garcia, but I'm most proud of who she's become. That was 4 years ago. That was a long time ago. I'm proud of the work that I've done to hopefully prepare myself to be in the best position to put this team in success. But it meant a lot when her smile, she's got a $1 million smile, came across her face when she was like, oh, wow, like I know the new head coach. But we've been collaborating ever since, and I'm really excited for what she's bringing to the team this year.
When you come in as a new head coach, I imagine building those relationships are crucial. So how was the summer session for you, and how would you describe where your relationships are with a lot of those returners?
I think the most important thing for me was to listen and hear what they need. It's a little bit of an upside down snow globe shaken up when you've been really successful in a system for 4 or 5 years, and then you get a new coach. Maybe wasn't what you envisioned for your last year, best year mindset. And so I tried to listen, hear what they need. I tend to lean heavy on skill development this summer, but it was clear that they needed a broader picture of what our offense and our defensive philosophies were going to be. And so we dove right in. But we just worked on getting to know one another, you know, trust and truth and transparency. Quality time, bonding at the pool. We had a great blue gold week where we really got to compete. We've got, you know, some older players that have a couple nagging things. So we got healthy, tried to really nurse our injuries. And I thought they did a really good job of leading the freshmen too. Like I said, bringing them into the UT culture and showing them around our incredible city and sharing with them what it means to be a Rocket.
Yeah, you talked about the culture. You know the standard that this program holds itself to. What are your expectations for this team this season?
Yeah, we're working a lot on our consistency. And I think that's something that you know, expect from the University of Toledo in the outcome in the win-loss category. But we're learning to expect it more from ourselves and practice every day, every single rep. We're trying to not focus on the past and the players that we lost. We're trying to not focus on the future. Will we four-peat? Those types of things, and just really hone into the process and get better every day. I think the fun part about this team, one of the many fun parts, I guess I should say, is how much they love each other, how much fun they're having celebrating one another, you know, lifting each other up on the hard days, but really celebrating the growth when we figure something out or we make a big play or a freshman has that aha moment. It's fun to watch them really engage with one another and celebrate.
Well, you're not holding back in the non-conference either. You're going to Iowa, you're facing Maryland, just to name a few. Why is it important to challenge your team in those non-conference games?
Well, it's impossible to become something you've never seen. Yeah, if we want to be a Sweet 16 caliber team, if we want to be a championship level team, we have to feel that. We have to experience that. We have to face that. We have to go on the road and feel what it feels like to play, you know, in Carter at Iowa and all of those fun things that come with the non-conference challenge that we've picked up. I did inherit the schedule, but I couldn't be more thrilled with it. We have some really, really fun games. And, you know, I think the MAC coaches would all agree. We're trying to position ourselves to be a multi-big league. We think this league is extremely talented. And in order for that to happen and avoid the necessity to be absolutely perfect on that last weekend, you know, we've got to have that non-conference preparation and that strength of schedule to carry us.
Yeah, no question. Coach, before I let you go, I just want to ask, as you look at your team as a whole heading into this season, what do you hope the identity of this group is?
Like I said, that consistency. You know who Toledo's going to be night in and night out. I think we're really proud of our selflessness. We don't care here who gets the credit. You know, it could be any given player on any given night, whether, you know, Hannah Novorowski comes in and has a big double-double, or Nan Garcia, you know, goes for 23 from downtown and hits a bunch of threes, or Sammy goes for another big double-double. Just keep going down the line. Nobody here cares who gets the credit. So I want everybody to see a really selfless team, a disciplined and consistent team, but a team that has fun and loves each other playing the game.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. So looking forward to seeing you on the sidelines with Toledo this year, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Go Rockets.
Nan Garcia. Nan, thank you so much for taking the time. Basketball is back. Now, for a Toledo program that's really been as constant and consistent as any team in the country over the last few years, there was quite a bit of change this offseason. What was that all like for you?
It was a crazy summer. I feel like, you know, change change isn't always bad. Like I think always people assume it as change is bad. Like it's just growing into it, right? Like change, you get the chance to grow. And I think that's what we've been doing, embracing the change and just growing every single day with it.
And Coach Cullip was very vocal when she left about wanting her players to stay at Toledo, and pretty much the majority of that core did. What went into that process for you? Were there any doubts? And what was it like as you had to go through it all?
Um, I think the doubt was never there. Like I think the love that we share for each other, that's something that can't be replaced, right? Um, we just got to like sit there and talk with each other and realize that like, okay, no matter what happens, everything's gonna be new. So like, why not stick it out together? And we have each other. So if something's gonna be new, at least we're not new. We know each other, we love each other, and we're gonna compete with each other.
Well, you knew Coach Bogus from Penn State. She was an assistant. You were a player. What has your relationship been like with her? And how has knowing her from your time at Penn State not only helped you, but also your teammates?
No, I think it's a pretty neat experience, right? Not everybody could say that. I always say, like, what are the odds? Like, I would have never in 1,000 years imagined it. But it was meant to happen, and I'm super excited. Obviously our relationship keeps growing. We knew each other, took a 4-year break, and now we're back on. So I'm super excited, and I'm super excited for the season and what she has to offer.
You do graduate your last two players of the year in Quenisha Lockett and Sophia Wired. But again, you bring back such a strong core, you being one of those leaders, those veteran presences around the team. What is leadership going to look like for you this year?
I think leadership's gonna be, vocal and just making sure like that our freshmen are comfortable, right? Like it's new for everyone. So just making sure we're all comfortable and we kind of just keep growing with each other every single day. I think it's gonna be super important.
As you look at this team, obviously adjustments are being made as you learn from a new coaching staff. From what you've seen so far, what do you think the identity of this team is going to be?
I think the identity is just how well we play together, right? Like just including one another and just valuing everybody's talent because we're all a super talented group and just being able to bring it together and keep the success going.
Last year, when Kent State ended up winning the MAC tournament, there was so much talk about whether you or Ball State, another team in the MAC, should have made that NCAA tournament. What can you say now, having played in this league and in this conference for a while? What can you say about the competition that you face on a nightly basis?
I think that there's never, every time you go in, every Wednesday, Saturday that you play, you're going to compete. There's never a day where you could just say, oh, we could take it easy because this team isn't this or that. Like, you have to go in, day out, we're getting ready to compete because everybody's bringing their best and it's a super talented league. So you just got to bring your best every single night.
As you head into this season, Nan, what are some of your individual goals and maybe some team goals you guys have collectively?
I just want this year to be the best year so far. I want to enjoy it, right? I don't know what the future holds for me. So I just want to enjoy it every single day that I can. And that's what I live by, right? Enjoy every single day and keep growing and making this year the best it can be.
All right, Nan, before we let you go, we're going to do some quick rapid fire questions to get to know you a little bit better. Let's start with your favorite food.
Soup. I'm a soup lover.
Ooh, wow, that's a new one.
Yeah.
Favorite place to go on vacation.
Puerto Rico.
Okay. Song you can't get out of your head right now.
Ah, to be honest, anything that got to do with Bad Bunny, I could probably get around it.
Okay. Dream job outside of basketball.
Being a head coach.
Favorite color.
Pink.
Hidden talent.
Ah. I don't know if I have a hidden talent. I always tell people I could speak Spanish, but I wouldn't say that's a hidden talent. I'd
Okay.
say it's a normal talent.
Favorite movie.
The Greatest Showman's pretty up there.
Someone else said that too. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. That's an interesting answer that I've heard multiple times.
Yeah, it's a great musical. For people that don't like musicals, I'd still definitely recommend that movie.
There we go. If I'm visiting campus, where's one place that I need to go?
Ooh. Savage Arena. I feel like our locker room and all that stuff. Savage Arena is a pretty cool place to visit.
Well, this lines right up with that then, because outside of Toledo, what would you say is the hardest place to play in the MAC?
Ball State. Ball State's definitely up there.
And finally, one word to describe this year's team.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood. I like that. Nan Garcia, thank you so much for taking the time. We look forward to seeing you later on this season.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.